if you chose card 1, you chose the Ace of Cups. And good on you. So there's definitely some beginnings happening, whether that be in your love life or happiness level. But there's definitely good things coming down the pipeline. There's definitely, because we are Ace of Cups in particular, there's definitely the most important aspect of this, which is emotional well-being is going to go up. Your emotional benefits is going to go up. Whatever the circumstance is, whatever aspect of life this is pertaining to, you're going to be vibing on yourself. You're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling confident. And the message really for the Ace of Cups here would be to sort of spread some of that love. If you're feeling it, give it, share it. That's basically, that's how love works, isn't it? You got to give it, share it, receive it. That's definitely what the Ace of Cups is telling me as far as the general message, that this is a good time to begin, because this is new beginning. So this is a good time to begin again. Whether that's in love life, maybe start dating. Whether that's in hobbies, new job. This is really about connections, new connections. So I would pay close attention to anyone that seems to sort of make you glow, if that makes any sense. Anyone that is bringing you absolute joy, actual joy. Pay attention to the things that you enjoy doing. If it's bringing you joy, keep doing it. If it's not, perhaps, consider letting it go. If it's not going to bring you joy, you shouldn't be wasting your time on it. But as far as the connection with others, this is definitely a good time to sort of establish new connections. It's not necessarily just old connections. But because you're vibing on yourself, there's definitely this component with the Ace of Cups that I see that you should strive really hard in the near future when this happens. And I hope you can do it. You should try really hard to embrace your feelings, to really give your emotional health and well-being a real go. Okay? This would be a time to love yourself, but that means loving yourself entirely. Every aspect of you. And emotions oftentimes get repressed, suppressed, neglected, sort of thrown on the back burner in the name of love of others, in the name of, necessity, of circumstance, what have you. But this is definitely in the near future. There is this good period of time for you that, it's all about just, love. It's all about good vibes, good feelings, and I'm happy to say that involves you feeling good about yourself. I'm always happy when I see this in a reading because I like it when people feel good about themselves. I love seeing people with confidence strut as they walk down the street. The Ace of Cups is also, in case anyone watching this, now remember these are timeless readings, so if you watch this whenever, I don't care if it was 5 years from now, 10 days since I posted, whatever the day is, if you were watching it, you were meant to get it. Now, if you're one of those people and fertility is, a point of question or a life aspect that you have, and you chose card 1, well, news for you. Fertility is high when it comes to this card. So, that could be the birth. That could be pregnancy. That could be the beginning of a relationship. That could be marriage. That could be a lot of things. But fertility in general. So, the birth or prospect of birth of someone or something. Whether that be a relationship, whether it be an idea you have. That's another thing. Emotions can create a lot of inspiration. You think about like Alanis Morissette. Best album was when she was sad. Nobody likes Billy Corgan when he's happy. Things like that. Sometimes emotions can inspire. And so it's not necessarily fertility in the sense of actual birth or pregnancy, conception. It very oftentimes can just be you in particular, specifically you, in a general life aspect, you bringing forth something new, you giving life to something new. So I'm happy for you, and I think that's wonderful. So if you chose card 1, if it resonated, let me know. If not, let it go. All right, if you chose card 2, Okay, we got the Knight of Cups. All right. If you chose card 2, there's definitely an air of romance, shall we say. Now, this could be romance or romantic attachment to someone else. Very oftentimes, the Knight of Cups can symbolize, in a lot of situations, the Knight of Cups will indicate or symbolize that someone enters your atmosphere or environment and sort of lights up your life. Someone comes in and is emotionally beneficial to you. Let me put it that way in the simplest of terms. Now, this doesn't have to be a sexual relationship. This doesn't have to be, necessarily a friendship relationship. It could be a business relationship, any kind of partnership. There's a lot of symbolism here. But at the end of the day, there's an overall necessity to receive the message, be that in the form of a person or in the form of a change in circumstance, what have you. The Knight of Cups is a signifier of a message of some sort. So you should sort of be open to that sort of idea. The advice that the Knight of Cups gives that I think is really smart is that you shouldn't get caught up too much in that sort of romanticized version of things. You ever heard of the rose-colored glasses? That's one of those situations. You got to be careful of that. It's nice to have the all sorts of emotional benefits, new relationships, new job that you love, new hobby that you're excited about. It's good to have all of that, but it doesn't mean jack shit unless you're actually acting on it. So, for example, if you like that person and you fantasize about dating that person, you want to go out with that person, but you never ask that person out, okay, well, we have a problem because that's inaction. And the Knight of Cups is warning against that. If there is something that makes your heart flutter, be it person, place, or thing, make sure that you act on it. Make sure that you go for what you want. That's what the Knight of Cups is basically telling you, is that which that brings you emotional benefit, you should always pursue. But you should always find a really good, solid, stable balance between these sorts of ideas, wants, and desires, and then actually the sort of plan and strategy to obtain them. It's useless to have the dreams if you never go for them. They just sort of stay dreams, right? So that's the overall message I would say for the Knight of Cups. Nothing too crazy, just, like a moth to a flame, which is probably a bad comparison here, but like a moth to a flame, the Knight of Cups is definitely saying that, that which brings you emotional benefit, you should go towards. This is not something to shy away from. So, and if it is a romantic sort of endeavor, this person is charming as all get out, cute. However, whatever your version of cute is, they are cute to you. And this is someone who will make decisions. A lot of their decisions will be emotion-based, which sometimes is good and sometimes not so much. So just sort of, be on the lookout for that. There's always, pros and cons to any new relationship. But the relationship does look good, at least at the start of it. I can't speak to the end of it, but maybe I'll do that in another reading. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, overall, not necessarily just focus on the romance aspect, but there's definitely this need to balance the thoughts and wants and desires with actual action, actual steps towards getting, what you want. So I hope that resonated. If it did, let me know. If not, let it go. And 3, if you chose card 3, chose the 9 of Wands. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Some of my card 3s aren't the best, but I don't know. It's good for you, I guess. Okay. So 9 of Wands, what we're dealing with here is a test of faith. That's the first thing that screams out all the time when it comes to the 9 of Wands, is you are probably tired. You're probably drained. You're probably overworked. You're probably exhausted. You're probably tired of everyone's bullshit, to put it simply. You are in that situation, which is just the real shitty situation. You're in that situation where it's the knocks just keep coming, It's that situation where just just when you think things are going to finally let up and you can make, your next step forward, all of a sudden there's something to knock you back 6 steps. That kind of bullshit. You are tired of that bullshit. And in this case, the Nine of Wands, more often than not, is telling you that you shouldn't give up, that you're almost actually there. This is that sort of, final trial. This is that sort of test of faith, test of endurance, test of self-discipline. How bad do you want it? That's what the Nine of Wands likes to ask. Because I know it sucks. I know the path is not easy. Whether that's career, whether that's relationship, whatever that is. Whatever you're trying to get through. That could just be life in general. The regular, everyday tedium. It wears on people. I think everybody can relate to that. And the bullshit, for most people, always keeps coming. But in this particular situation, what I'm seeing is more so not only the not give up, the, how bad do you want it kind of message, but I'm also seeing that there is probably the kind of sullen attitude that you may be taking, that kind of wearing away of the kind of, fire that once burned brighter, I should say. It kind of feels like there's this doubt and sort of, I want to say, okay, so it's more so thought process, if anything, is what I'm getting. There is this self-doubt. Because the knocks keep coming, you're starting to get into this headspace of, well, they're just going to keep on fucking coming, so what the hell's the point? And you can't do that. You do not give up. That's the message that I'm getting from here. I know that, in times of stress and grief and strife and anxiety, our heads love to play and twist and warp and get into negative headspaces, and we tend to like to sit and sulk in them. But the Nine of Wands is definitely telling me that you need to see to it, as far as the advice, you need to see to it that the best plan forward for you, because the knocks keep coming, and they won't last forever, but as long as they do, the perspective that you need to have is sort of, plan for the worst, or expect the worst. Plan for the worst, I think is how it goes, but plan for the worst. And you sort of, take it as it comes. If you are already mentally, emotionally prepared for any sort of knocks that may come your way, it's just a nice way of perhaps putting a spin on a situation where you could just stay in that sort of pit and negative thought process cycle. It's just a way to put a spin on that negative thought process and say, okay, well, if I'm assuming a knock's going to come, if more bullshit is around the corner, okay, what would that bullshit be? If you already have in your mind what that bullshit could be, then perhaps it's less, there's less of a sting when it actually comes around the corner. And it just puts you in a position to be better prepared to take said knock. And that's basically what the Nine of Wands is saying. There are more knocks that are going to come. It's not going to stop. But you need to trust in yourself and not let any negative thoughts you have about yourself, or any negativity that comes from other people, mind you, when it comes to your own goals. Don't let anybody, including yourself, try and take that away from you. And identify when that's happening. Okay, some people are out there, and they can be even loved ones. There are some people out there that are just straight up trying to steal your joy, and you do not want that to happen. I do not want that for you. So, overall, Nine of Wands, just trust yourself in perseverance. Trust and have faith in yourself that you can obtain what you want. You just have to keep pushing. You have to keep fighting. So I hope this resonated. If it did, let me know. If not, let it go. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.